5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Peace, everyone. Welcome to the Friday listening party. I'm Eric Leo 108, author, rapper, philosopher, and today I'm debuting a re-upload track like I do every Friday. Every Friday's on re-upload, but every Friday's a new track. This week's drop is called The Pen. Before we jump in, drop where you're watching from and let me know if you read the blog post yet at Fience.com. Check out the store. I could really use your support. Fience spelled Fiense. And then if you go to Fience.com/membership, you can support that way. That's the best way to support. If you hear something in the track that hits you, type it in the comments. Let's go bar for bar today. Who made the beat? Anno Domini. Who does it feature? Killer Priest and Big Ounce. And is it Cosmic Love? Not this time. It was the first time. And then announcements. So this is a re-upload. I'm just gonna be honest. I had my tracks uploaded through Revel distro. And they did a system update, and then come to find out that like 20 of my 22 tracks got taken down. So my whole catalog with my biggest tracks got taken down. Because of their system update. So I've had to re-upload them through a different distro. I've tried to email this about them multiple times, and they still haven't answered, and it's been like a month. I do not recommend going through them. I do not recommend their distro. I would be very wary. It caused me a lot of distress, because that was my biggest tracks, and then there goes my income from that and stuff like that, and there goes my momentum. So I've had to deal with that. Yeah, it hasn't been fun. I gotta get all the tracks re-uploaded, and I'm still in the process of getting them all re-uploaded. A bunch of them haven't cleared yet, and then I still have like 2 to 4 to upload still, because like 20 of them got taken down, and they'll all come out within the next 2 to 3 months. So yeah, that's what happened. So a lot of my major features are down. My distributor did an update of my products, and they're not there in the product catalog. Let's see. Amber Ruffin is doing good. I've gotten like 5 to 10 followers on Spotify because of it. So let's see. Last week's release was Amber Ruffin. This week's release is The Pen. Next week's release is Read 108, and then the release after that is Carpenter. And then the Mr. Congeniality 2 album comes out in the last Friday in August. Okay, so yeah. I'm gonna read. I didn't do a new blog post. I just updated the old blog post on Fience.com. I made a new blog post for EricLeo108.com, and just said it was a re-upload. So the Pen is my 140th and 152nd official release and 224th track published. The beat was made by Anno Domini. The mix is by Keanu Beats. It features Kill the Priest and Big Ounce. This originally came out on Halloween. This track was re-uploaded on January 16th after being taken down by my distributor in a system update. So yeah, go check out the Pen. It's been I love Big Ounce's feature on it. Um, we are not gonna listen to it. I think that's all I want to say, honestly. Um, Unless you guys have any questions. Can we listen to it? It'll get Yeah, it'll get striked. Um, so this is a re-upload. Next week is a remix of Read 108. I guess I could talk about my day. Hi, Briggs. Um, I had a salad for lunch. I'm actually pretty hungry. I'm gonna get tacos after this. A taco and a quesadilla. Um, my day's been going well. Um, I've been working on books. I got Dark Racism done, Economic and Linguistic, which is about basically how real racism is economic and linguistic racism is not as harsh as economic, because if it's economic you don't have a house or you're economically oppressed, and you can, if it's only linguistic you can recover and it doesn't have a larger as large of effect. That's basically what it's about. It goes into into ways that the structure of society, institutional racism, and economics are used to oppress um, minority groups. I focus on blacks, but yeah, that's what Dark Racism is about. And then I also finished. Um, it's called the American Nightmare Project. It's a book about how America is unaffordable and living conditions have become a nightmare instead of a dream. It plays off the whole American dream thing. And then I don't know how to say your name, Kyber. Been training and studying even when break from college. Cool, man. So yeah, that's what the American Nightmare Project is about. It's about how the American dream is a nightmare, and then I'm finishing up another book called Who's the Goat? It's about how to find who the GOAT is, the greatest of all time in hip hop. And it gives like a little history of hip hop, and then what makes a good artist, and then how to measure that. Basically, is like a point system. Kyver, cool. But yeah, this is a re-upload. I'll show you what the blog post looks like. This is a re-upload of the pen. Again, my tracks got taken down by Revel, who I would not recommend going through. And it's not that the mistake happened, it's that it's been months and they still haven't responded. So this is what it looks like. This is what the blog post looks like for the pen. In it, I'm talking about at the time with Republicans refusing to make concessions to reopen the government with health care subsidies to correct the big beautiful bill, which will kill constituents Republicans in the Trump administration of taking to starving their people for political leverage, even though they have the power, means, and money to fund SNAP benefits. So, yeah, Americans are pretty much under attack at this point by the government. Um, it's terrible what's going on in Minnesota. Yeah. I stand with the people. Every day is like another new venture into like how the government is screwing its people. So yeah, if you go to Yahtzees.us, replace the Y with an N, it'll forward you to the Homeland Security. I heard somebody in Germany bought the URL, which the irony is even more stark, and had it forward to Homeland Security. And why did they do that? Not only because of like the policies and what's been going on, but they recently changed their slogan. Both the Department of Labor and Homeland Security's new slogan, "We'll have our home again," which is from a KKK song, "By God, we'll have our home again." The Department of Labor went with "One Homeland, One People, One Heritage," which seems like a direct ripoff of Nazi Germany's "One People, One Homeland, One Leader." Pretty much. So that's, I mean, I don't know how like conservatives can still deny, like when people are dying in the streets of Minnesota. I don't know when enough is going to be enough. Like it's like America is, there's this whole thing about how when is enough enough when school children are dying from gun violence, and now it's the the government is using guns against its own citizens to supposedly enforce immigration. Like, when is enough enough? Like, yeah, this administration is something else. With the changing in the slogans too, it's not like they're even hiding it. And then conservatives will still deny it. People shouldn't be dealing with this either. Evil, yeah, I agree. Luigi is your favorite. That got taken down on some platforms because, yeah. takes an aggressive stance on the side of truth. All right, it's been 15 minutes. Um, yeah, I hate ice. Same with the president. I have those songs like MAGA and Dementia Dawn and Yeah We Bang too. It's only gotten worse. It's only gotten worse. I can't wait for the midterms. The good thing is his approval rating is in the toilet, and Republicans will probably lose the midterms, and then they'll probably impeach Trump, and he knows it. And he, it's not like he wants to change his ways or his policies to appease the American people. He just wants to do what he wants to do and get away with it, and use force and manipulation to stay in power. There's there was a pregnant mother that miscarried because of ice. There's a peaceful protester that uh, was blinded, permanently blinded by ice. You got Renee Good that died. I think there's another one that died. There's definitely been more that died in the custody of ice, and there's now one where they think the coroner said that it looks like they were choked to death. By ice in their cell. So these people have rights. I mean, the Fourth Amendment extends to anybody in the United States, not just American citizens. And Trump isn't going to be um, Trump isn't going to be president forever. And there's a statue. Yeah, there's a statute of limitations of 5 years for this. So basically, the next president could prosecute ICE for these Fourth Amendment violations. And then, yeah, I mean, everything is like a huge distraction from the Epstein files. Like, it's came out that he was like, he lived a, like a mile away from Jeffrey Epstein, and that there's always more stuff coming out about how he was in the room with unattended and with young girls and everything like that. He's a criminal rapist president. Like in, like I lost faith in America when they elected a rapist over a woman. Like, nice job, America. This is why you have the problems you have. I mean, it's not just immigration and people like dying on the streets and in captivity under their care or their direction of ISIS direction, but I mean, you have the economy, the tariffs. Now he's going after the Fed, and he wants to lower interest rates to make himself look good, which is going to eventually cause hyperinflation. Um, and he hasn't touched anything about affordability. He thinks it's a Democrat hoax. They're a piece of shit. The other way, besides impeaching him, they'd have to get like 2/3 of the Senate to vote to impeach him or remove him, which I think he needs to be removed. Or they can, I think it's the 25th Amendment that if he's unfit to serve, which is why I think he's had strokes. And I don't think which is why his hand's always, because he's got an IV in there and he gets just like the best medical treatment. But I think he's had strokes and he doesn't want people to know because he doesn't want them to invoke the 25th Amendment. So we have this like dementia ridden, pejorative, criminal, piece of shit president that can't fix the economy, although people voted for him for that, and is terrorizing citizens. So what? He can avoid jail? So he can avoid prison? That's basically why he ran. I've always said America's like a borderline fascist nation, and it's just being pushed to the edge by him. He calls everything a hoax or fabricated that exposes him regardless of how much proof. Yeah, yeah, he just lies. Republicans are guilty of everything they accuse Democrats of. So, in order to deflect or create confusion or rally his base, he accuses what he's guilty of, what the Republicans are guilty of, onto the Democrats. So they project. There's no like truth. There's no, and it's like doublespeak that he's even on Truth Social. He uses doublespeak like that's from 1984. If you've ever read the book, it's like he's a terrible president. I want you to know, like there was like 40 historians that came together and said that George Bush was like the worst president in American history, and then they came together again after Trump's first term and said Trump was the worst president. So I knew he's gotten even worse. His approval rating is in the dumpster. His objectively his policies have not benefited the American people. And I just want you to think to yourself, I mean, the reason like, this is probably a large reason why I can't be alone in thinking that America is a piece of shit. But it's because we've had the worst presidents in our lifetime. Like, the worst presidents. Lucky us. Incompetent administrations that get us into wars. Yeah. He also always either creates and makes up fake achievements or takes credit for others' work. He just took the Nobel Peace Prize from that lady that won it from Venezuela. I can see why she did it. She's just trying to keep the peace. Um, but he doesn't deserve it. FIFA made up an award, just he gave him a peace award, just I mean, just keep him busy. Keep on giving him awards and everything like that. But his ego, his narcissism, oh my god. It's always all about him. They're so nasty to me. Well, maybe if you weren't such a piece of shit. Pretty much. Alright, good talk. Alright, guys. Besides that, I mean, life has been pretty good. Besides our dipshit president. Did you see the guy that he said he was the reason for Biden's slightly better economy to his base, yet then says it's the Biden economy after taking office. Yeah, he cannot. I mean, Republicans can't recognize reality. That's like the biggest thing. We can't come to like people always say like, "Oh, it's both parties." No, it's not. It's the Republicans. They can't recognize reality. So we can't have a consensus on how to move forward because one person says it's raining, the other person says it's not raining, and the American public, instead of looking outside and seeing if it's raining or not, they're just like, oh yeah, the Republicans, they're right, because they're so propagandized. Republicans are the problem. They've been the problem. It just got worse. I mean, MAGA Republicans are the reason why America is such a derisive piece of shit. They don't stand. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if like he went on his rants and everything like that, and Republicans stood up to him so he wouldn't get away with it. But he's he's terrorizing communities. He's bankrupting the American economy. He's this is what you voted for, America. I mean, especially the immigration thing. He said he was going to do this, and then he basically crashed the economy in his first term, and then people voted for him because they said he was going to fix the economy. He was going to run it like a business, but he bankrupted his casinos. And he's like a patriot, but he dodged the draft. He's a con man. I mean, you're so fucking stupid, America. People like Joe Rogan. Got him in the office, and then after he said what he's gonna do, said what he said he was gonna, he did what he said he was gonna do. It's like, well, this is bad. He already showed you who he was in the first term. Yeah, I would like to see an independent too. I would have liked to see Bernie Sanders. None of this would have happened. It was the Democratic National Convention. I don't know what they call it. When they elected the primary leader back, they Bernie won. Bernie won the districts, but they elected Hillary, and then Hillary lost. We could have had Bernie Sanders. We could have had a way better society. if the Democrats would have actually allowed Bernie Sanders to get the nomination to run for president. But they bogarted him. Um, Michael Moore did a video about this. It was called 11-9. This country doesn't do what is necessary to better its people. It just extracts their labor and extracts their culture and their permission, the manufacture consent, and then they give power to corporations and moneyed interests. Citizens United. You can just buy elections now. I mean, Elon Musk should be in prison for buying elections. Trump should be in prison for fraud. He was found guilty, and he would have served like a 15-year sentence if he wouldn't have won the presidency. He shouldn't have even been able to allow to run. That's like we have the problems we have because he's a criminal felon rapist that's in power. Pretty much. I like the guy from the Ford plant that called him a pedophile protector. He didn't even call him a pedophile. He could have. He called him a pedophile protector, which is true. But it's good to see it pisses him off. If they ever came down on me, I'd be so loud about that. Both do apply. You don't want to mess with me, I'll make sure you pay for it with your most precious of commodities. I don't think he knows like the fire that he's messing with. Like, I'll leave you with this. Like, Leonardo da Vinci was a painter and a scientist and an artist, but he also made the first tank. So people really don't understand, like, if you give people motivation to retaliate, they might just do it. You might get somebody that's super smart, that has had injustice pursued against them, and they decide revenge is better than moving on with their life. And then you're going to have a real problem. And that's not only like, you can do it legitimately too. That's what I'm saying, like the Fourth Amendment and stuff like that. He's just playing with fire. Like, it's like he's getting away with it while he can. And I think there's going to be some serious repercussions for him and the people he's hired to do these types of things. Which is great. I think it's going to be great. Otherwise, people have said how the United States is going to balkanize. Which means break off into sections. Would you agree military spending is too high? Yes. It's been too high. We spend more on the military than the next 10 nations combined. I mean, the biggest problem with it is the Pentagon has never been audited. Like, it has like $1 trillion budget, and we don't know where any of that money goes. I wish we used money like other countries for healthcare, energy, public transport, etc. Yeah, I agree. Like I don't know that. I mean, that's the reason why. I mean, inequality is so bad. We don't access to resources become stratified and unattainable when you have high levels of inequality, and you can't function as a society. Like the fabric of society starts to break apart when you have such inequality because people can't afford to live, so they turn to desperation to get what they need, whether that's criminal activity or scamming or things like that. And without education, they don't have the means in order to create wealth for themselves. And especially without access to resources or an income stability. Like all this comes from stability. And we are destabilizing the regular citizen. Anyways, we've been at this for 36 minutes. Thanks for listening to me rant. We'll see you later, buddy. I'm gonna get off here. Go get some tacos. Okay. Go check out the pen. Other than that, other than the travesty that is our government, everything's great. Um, Fortunate to live in an area where it's not being too affected by it. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my family. You're awesome. I love you very much. Until next time, you take care, all right? See ya. Peace. Later, buddy. Thank you for staying. Thank you for the convo. See ya.